I'm very excited to introduce our next speaker. His name is Mufaddal Sadriwala. He is an esteemed SEO growth strategist and consultant. He is a performance marketer who specializes in helping brands increase their revenue through organic and paid marketing mediums. His track record speaks for itself as he has achieved remarkable results for his clients. One of Mufaddal's notable achievements includes scaling organic traffic for an event management company by staggering 400% within just 1 year, all without building a single link. Today, Mufaddal will be sharing insights on the topic how to get your tech SEO changes implemented fast. Feel free to actively engage in this session by asking your questions and sharing your experience in the chat. Please welcome Mufaddal. Mufaddal, I'm so glad to see you here today. How are you feeling?
Hey Nadia, thank you so much for the very brief introduction. Thank you. I'm doing good. How is it going with all of you? Hello everyone. How's
It's
the day going
great.
for you?
We were so waiting for you, and I know that this speech will be really insightful. Are you ready to start?
I'm so much excited. I know my there were some technical issues at my end because of which
Yeah.
I was not
It's
able to
about
join.
it's about
Yeah,
leave. Yeah.
yeah, it's
Good.
just about it. So yeah, definitely. I'm excited as you guys are. So yeah,
Yeah.
let me-
So could you please share your presentation with us?
I'll just get started. Let me know when you can see the screen.
I will remind that Mofadal will share the topic how to get your tech SEO changes implemented fast. Okay, we can see your presentation and ready to hear you.
Cool, cool, cool. Great. So, like Nadia said, that I'm going to be talking about how to get RSU recommendations implemented fast. And when I talk about this, I obviously know that I'm not going to be talking about anything which is out of this world, but my recommendations will mostly revolve around how can we improve our way of working with developers, with clients, that can help us overall in moving our tech recommendations in the right direction, or basically get our stuffs worked over there. So okay, so yeah, let's get started with it. Climbing a mountain is the second most difficult thing to do in the world, and I say this because the first thing is getting our changes implemented on the website is the most difficult thing. And I know a lot of us who are present on this call would agree with this, because I mean, why is it so difficult? Like, okay, you send something, why can't that get implemented? Why does the developer always have to say that, oh, this cannot be done? Or why it is always like, oh, the client does not have time, resource, anything? Why is SEO not given the importance? Like, that's the frustration that we always have. So, and this is not the this struggle is not only with us, but 33% of SEOs says that hardest part of their job is getting the SEO recommendations implemented. A very recent survey that was conducted by IRA, in that they said that they found 33% of SEOs says the same thing, and 28% of them says that lack of resources is the biggest risk to technical SEO success. So obviously, we don't get buy-ins, our recommendations never gets implemented, and this is the problem across all the industry people that we have. So this boils down to a point that we might have 100-page audit with a lot of valuable suggestions, but it means nothing if it is not implemented. And then that's where the struggle starts, that when we have to get the changes implemented, we need to work with a web developer. But working with developers isn't easy, and that's what I've just tried to highlight over here with the just I mean, you'll see a lot of these just in the upcoming slides as well. So working with developers isn't easy, and that's where I'm here to talk about how should we go about improving or working with developers, with clients, that can help us overall in showcasing the value of SEO to them and getting our recommendations implemented. So first, before I start with what we should do, let's just try and understand why is it so difficult to work with a developer. So we need to align on all of these points. So the first thing is that that it's not their only job to implement SEO recommendations. Like, developers job is not only to implement SEO recommendations. They have a lot of other requests that comes from all the other departments, from marketing, from tech, from product, from design, from top management. So I've never seen someone getting a dedicated SEO resource to implement this stuff. So we need to be aware and acknowledge the point that developers are not here to just only implement SEO recommendations. The second thing is they have their own sets of problems to solve. So along with the SEO audits or the SEO issues that we raise with them, they already have a couple of their own problems that they have to solve. As an example, there is something breaking on the front end of the website, something on the back end, some issue on the server side of things, some things not working on the payment gateway side of things, etc. So already they have a list of things that they need to take care of, and SEO becomes like an additional task for them. And this is where we need to help them navigate on what are the tasks that we have to do, something which I'm going to be again talking in the upcoming slides as well. But we need to acknowledge the fact that they have their own sets of problem. SEO is not just the only thing that they're working on. Also, their understanding of marketing and SEO is very limited. So they don't understand the marketing and SEO the way we do. For them, canonicals and redirects would mean the same thing over here. So their understanding over here would not be the same as we have. And then the hard truth that they also think is that, having a conversation with a lot of developers, is that they think we SEOs just dump the work on them. So we don't have a way of sharing our recommendations that can help them understand what we are trying to say. We usually just dump our audits on them and then say, hey, figure this out and then get this implemented. Now I'm saying this from my own experience as well. When I started working in SEO, my way of working was to run an audit, probably using any of the tools like Ahrefs, SEMrush, or Screaming Frog, and then downloading the dump from those and then sending it across to the developer like a 10-20 MB of Excel sheet and saying, hey, figure this out and then get it implemented. Now that's not the best way of working with them, because just now dumping work and nothing out of those is going to implement it. So what should we do? Like, after obviously acknowledging all of these points, how should we go about working with this? So the foundation step over here is to build real relationship with your client and developers. And when I say building real relationship, we need to go above and beyond our a way of working, about our way of uh, working with clients and developers. And I said this before, and I'll again say this again, that we need to become problem solvers for a client rather than becoming problem creators. We need to become problem solvers. I'll just repeat. We should be becoming problem solvers rather than becoming a problem creator for them. What I mean by that is that from we whenever we are doing SEO, we are so much engrossed in the way we have to, or we are so much engrossed in thinking everything from an SEO point of view that we sometimes forget the business objective of doing that. And when we are not aligned on the business objective of it, it and because of that, the recommendation or whatever our suggestion is never gets implemented or never is been never taken seriously. So when you can tie that up with the business objective of the client, that's where the client will be like, okay, now I understand what this means, how it is going to help my business, my objectives. And that's the way this is a solution to whatever problem I'm facing. And that's how this thing can this is the solution to that, and this is something that they will take seriously. Same thing with developers as well. So if you need to build a real relationship, not just because you have to get things implemented. You can be empathetic towards them. You need to be obviously, if you have an in-house team, you can have a conversation, a weekly or a monthly catch up with them, understand their sets of problem as well. Like I said, they have their own sets of problem. Just try and get on a call with them, understand what they're struggling with currently, and then how as a person you can help them with it, or probably when you're sharing recommendations, what sort of things that they need in that, etc. So all of these things, when you're building a relationship with them, that is going to go a long way in getting in getting your uh, recommendations implemented as well. Apart from this, I mean, I can just end my slides over here because that's the it's a very foundation thing that we have to do, but obviously I have been given more time and I have to justify that time, and that's the reason I've added a couple of more slides as well over here. So the second thing that we can do is we need to get the stakeholders buy-in at the very early stage of the SEO campaign. What I mean by this is that whenever we are, and this is something I've seen from my experience as well, as in from an agency side of things, whenever we go to pitch clients, we always talk about the success. We always say we have done this for other clients. We say this, etc. All of those things, but we acknowledge, or we forget to acknowledge the point that this was made possible because they were so what do you say, they were so prompt in in getting the changes implemented. So at the very early stage of your campaign, when you're going to the client, for at the pitching stage, you need to get the stakeholders buy-in and tell them, hey, obviously we can do all of these things for you, but we also need your support in that. Your support should be equal. You also need to be involved in the SEO project like we are. So we will do this much, and then in order to get that implemented, we need support from your developers. In order to get our SEO issues, our tech issues sorted, we need the buy-in, we need time from your developers, so that the stakeholders are aware of it, and then they can internally coordinate and then get you the time, the resource that you need to get your changes implemented. So if the stakeholder is aligned on that, if the top management is aligned, so they will always make sure that you are getting their dedicated resource in order to get your changes implemented. So very important at the very early stage of your SEO campaign, get the stakeholders buy-in over there. Also, when we are working with developers, we should maintain a single process for updates and communication. Like I said, get on a call, initial call with your developer, ask them about the process, the way of sharing recommendations, use Jira or Sheets or document, Trello, Slack, whatever works best for you and the team. Use that, maintain a single process so that you can you can keep a tab on the progress on how it is happening. When I was very naive in the SEO. What I used to do is, one of my recommendations was on emails, the other one was on a WhatsApp, the third one was on a doc somewhere, and then the developer was confused which one should I take first, or which is the starting point for me, because you are sending me recommendations from three different mediums and I don't have that much amount of time to sort that out. So always maintain a single process for updates and communication. I just added a template, something that we can use to in order to give a tracker sort of thing that you can use to work with your developers. Now you can put your issues, your link to the documents, priority, timelines, comments, and all of these things over here, so that if someone from the stakeholding team also wants to have a look at need to have a clarity on how it is happening, so they can have a very clear picture by looking at one tracker over here. So very important to maintain a single process for updates and communication. Also, uh, what we again I realized is that, like I said, the way of we work with developers is that we have found some issues on the website and we never prioritize them. So my number one issue is to fix load time, but there are other issues, high priority issues, that are then not talked about in my audit basically. So always prioritize the recommendation. I have added a priority metrics which was created by Arij Abu Ali. So all credit to her for that one. And the way she recommends this is that you should be mindful of the SEO impact your recommendation is going to have, along with the tech effort it is going to take. So it should not be just basis on the SEO impact, but also on the tech effort that it is going to take. So as an example, if the SEO impact is large and tech effort is small, then that should be high priority, because tech is not going to take a lot of time and their effort is going to be small. But obviously SEO impact is large. As an example, fixing canonical tags on the website. This is something that you can say as a high priority because this is impacting your indexing. Example, fixing robots.txt. So we need to prioritize a recommendation and share it, the high priority ones first, and then go about sharing the rest of the ones. Because if we'll share each and everything in one go, the developer will be confused on which one to pick when, and then they might pick up the easiest one from their side of things, which will again be the easiest or the lowest impact in terms of SEO. And then you'll be like, oh, the one that you fixed is something which is having no impact on SEO, and they'll be like, oh, then SEO is not working for me. Even the developer did something and they implemented stuffs, but your recommendations were not that great. So the SEO overall is not working for us. So always prioritize the recommendation when you're sharing it with the team. Also, like I said, respect and understand the devs time, the developers times and resources. Like I have in my experience not seen a single SEO in the world saying that I have got a dedicated resource to work on my SEO recommendations. So we need to respect and understand devs times as well over here, because they have other things to do as well. So get realistic timelines from them. So when you share a recommendation, don't go about saying, okay, I'm sharing this right now to you, so I need this to be done by afternoon. No, or I need it to be done in a day. Ask or expect realistic timelines from the devs, and understand their crunch as well. Their resource crunches as well, so that you are being empathetic towards them. And like I said, this helps you in overall building your relationship with the devs. Very important thing that we miss out is also we don't share SEO wins with them. We should definitely share SEO wins. Now, what starts happening is that when we share recommendations with the team, or when we share stuff that the developer has to do and they fix it, a lot of times they do not understand, okay, how is it impacting in the real world. And if that is something that you can share with them, they will actually feel valuable, and also they will understand how important that task was, which you got implemented with the help of them. As an example, you can share keyword ranking improvements. So for a keyword, you started ranking on page one, take that screenshot, send it to the developer and say, hey, after we implemented the metadata and content, we can see that we have now started ranking on page one for this very competitive keyword. Similarly, revenue and or traffic increase that you are seeing on a month-on-month basis. Anything that started, let's say a SERP feature or a rich snippet that started coming in after schema implementation. So, or let's say you worked on the page speed improvement with the devs, and then because of which there is improvement in the GSC page speed page experience report. So, all of these things, if you'll keep the developers involved in the actual outcome of the SEO, they will feel valued, and then that is also going to help get your recommendations implemented the next time when you are going to share things with them. So that obviously feels valued and then works as a best way of working with them. Also, before we are sending any tasks to them, we should understand the complexity on our side of things as well. So as an example, if we are working with the developer on a given CMS, you should be very you should be aware of the limitations that CMS offers. So, as an example, if you are working with Magento, you need to be aware of, okay, this is the limitation, and this is my suggestions should be in alignment to those recommendations that I'm sharing with them. So, your suggestion should not be feel like that you should not be felt in a way for the dev that they feel like, okay, this person does not know anything. You recommend something which is not possible with the CMS setup that the client has. So point over here is that we should understand the complexity, understand it in ourselves first before we recommend that to the client or to the developer, so that we are aware on why that task is important, and then if that is not that important, we can probably get rid of it and then not suggest at all to the devs over there. Also, while you are sharing recommendations, we should be educating them about tech SEO. Like I said, their understanding of SEO and marketing would be very limited. So we can talk when we are sharing recommendations, we can educate them about tech SEO, and we can say, hey, the reason we are recommending this to be redirected and not have a canonical, because the way the difference in which Google or the difference in which canonicals and redirects are looked upon by Google, or why page speed is important for Google, because it's a soft signal for ranking websites, and it is for a better user experience, or why schema is important to be added on the website. So when you educate them about tech SEO, that also obviously goes a long way in making sure that they understand why it is important, and then obviously they can pick it up in that level of priority. Also, we should, when we are sharing recommendations, we should back it up with strong data. Not It should not be because I feel this should be done and that's the reason you are recommending it. It should not be that way. Always, if data is available, back it up with a strong data. That the reason I'm recommending this is because in GSC we can see a decline in traffic, so we need to fix that. Or in Search Console I can see a decrease in the no index pages, so we need to fix that on the website. So always back it up with strong data, so that you can always say, I am saying this because there is data available and this is impacting the performance of the website and everything. Also, if doing all of these things also does not get your recommendations implemented, you should show them the bottom line impact of doing SEO. And like I said, like who does not understand money? Everyone understands the business impact of doing things. So even if all of these things does not work, you can show them the bottom line impact of doing this, like increased revenue, improvement in conversion rate, assisted conversions, brand discovery, like whatever SEO helps you with, you can show them the bottom line impact of doing that, and accordingly get your recommendations implemented as well. Something that we did, which was uh, very weird, if I can say that, for one of our clients, we talked about a revenue impact of fixing canonical tags. Like I'm still don't believe that we did that, but yeah, we had to do, because the developer was asking the revenue impact of doing our or fixing our changes. Now, we all know that canonical tags cannot directly impact or improve your revenue. So we did some math and then we gave them a projection, because of which we were able to get that issue fixed. But in the end, yes, there was some impact on revenue, and then we showed that to them. So obviously, it might be difficult to attribute everything to revenue, but if you can give you can do some calculation and show the bottom line impact, obviously that can help you get your recommendations implemented in a faster way. And something that we can also do, and that's the reason this is the last point over here, is that we can spoon feed them, or we should spoon feed them, and not every time, but initially, to build trust. So if, let's say, you are sharing a recommendation, also go above and beyond in finding the reason or finding the root cause of the problem, and also giving them the solution with your recommendation itself, that okay, this is the problem and this is what I believe could be the reason behind that, because I've also done the analysis on my side of things and how that works over here. So that is something that you can do. You can spoon feed them, so that it also saves a bit of time, and then they start trusting you with the recommendations that you are sharing, and they know that you are a reliable source for them as well. Now, obviously, like we could be doing all of these things, but the devs are still not moving the ticket. This could be things that you are doing right now, but still devs are not moving stuff. So I also added a couple of recommendations for devs if there are any developers in the house over here. So what you can do is listen and understand to what SEOs are suggesting. Yes, I mean, what we suggest, please do listen to us. Please give us importance as well, because our objective is also to improve the revenue, to improve the traffic, to improve the business overall, and that way. So listen and understand to what we are suggesting. Also, be open to learning SEO. It might change your perspective, and it's not that bad. I've seen a lot of SEOs in my experience who were developers at one point of time, and because they were curious enough to learn SEO, they turned and became SEOs basically. So SEO and dev knowledge is match made in heaven, if I can say that. So if you can know both of these, you will always know, I mean, always be on the edge and always be better with compared to others. So be open to learning SEO. It might change your perspective, and you will learn a lot of new stuff as well. Also think out, you can think outside the box for solutions, because we might come up with some weird request to you, but you are the designers, you are the engineers, so you might think outside the box for solutions for us to accommodate our request as well. And like I said, please give importance to SEOs, because yeah, I mean, we are not that bad overall. And in the end, what I feel it should be is that the SEOs and devs relationship should turn from being this to this, where we both obviously work together in hand, and then that's the way things go, and then the business objective, client objectives, and all of these things are met over here. And obviously, a bit about me is that I'm from India. I live in Mumbai. uh, I started in SEO around 8 years ago. Currently work as an SEO manager for Assembly MENA. fun fact about me is that I learn something new each passing day, no matter how big or small that thing is. And the best thing I like about SEO is that it does not have a blueprint. Like, no one can say, okay, if you follow this exact same strategies, you're going to get the exact same results. No, SEO does not work that way. Every website is different, every strategy is different, every person implementing or suggesting things are different. So what I really like is that there is no blueprint. Everyone can work in their own way and obviously get different results or different outcomes on the basis of that. That's what fascinates me in the SEO industry. And yeah, I mean, thank you for have joining me here today. If you want to follow me on Twitter, if you want to follow me on LinkedIn, if you want to get in touch with me via my email, this is what I have. Also have a website. If you want to know more about me, you can visit over here as well. And if you want to download my slides, here's the link to that as well. So yeah.
Mufaddal, we are very grateful for your contribution to this conference, and we believe that your expertise will inspire our audience to enhance their tech SEO implementations and drive meaningful organic growth. I have several questions from our students. The first one, what are some future trends or emerging technologies in the field of tech SEO implementation that marketers should keep an eye on?
Um, okay. So in terms of tech, I mean the future for the technical or the technology side of things, I think the way uh, I I also saw there was an AI related talk as well, and I think this would have been covered over there. But the way AI is changing the technology, we all should keep an eye on that. So, as an example, if you were faced with a problem earlier, you had to go to Google and search for the problem and read 10, 20. I mean, a couple of blogs, and then that's where you probably would have got the solution. But now with AI, you can go to Bard, you can go to Chat GPT and put the problem over there, and you will get the exact solution there itself. So that's where you can save the time. So in terms of that, you always look out for solutions on these AI bots. It would be helpful. And emerging technologies would be, I would say, I would bet on React, which is again a very good technology that people are using right now, and it has also become SEO friendly. So React JS is something that you should start looking at. I believe Google will also try and improve Angular JS over here as well, which is something which is great. And uh, I mean, not that SEO friendly, but there are ways in which it can be made SEO friendly on that side of things as well. And things to look out for is obviously the way, like I would again reiterate to go to the basics and understand the basics of HTML always. No matter how advanced technologies become, but always stick to the basics, because if you know that on the base of your basics, you can be or you can learn a lot of other things as well. So it's not like that you will only work with one kind of technology in SEO. You might work with different websites who will be using different technologies, but if you know the core concepts, it will help you a lot to navigate in the SEO world, in the marketing world. So always keen to learn the basics, and that is obviously the best way to build your future from there. So yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot for your answer. I have one more question. Are there
Okay.
any common pitfalls or challenges to be aware of when implementing tech SEO changes? How can they be overcome?
A common pitfall would be like that challenges would be always that the devs or the developers will say that, okay, we don't have time to implement this, or we don't have the bandwidth to do this. Now in those cases, like I said, you should go back to your stakeholders or people, the marketing, the brand side of things, or the top management, and tell them that, hey, if the developer does not have time to implement our recommendations, we cannot get the or you cannot get the desired results. And if you don't get the desired results, don't blame us because of that, because we are doing everything on our side and it's the developers who don't have the time. So have clear expectations with them, that if they say that okay, we don't have the bandwidth, then you're clearly saying that if you don't have the bandwidth, then you cannot get the desired results that we are talking about. So that that if they go ahead without implementing it, they don't blame you for not having the growth that they were expecting because of SEO. So that would be a common thing that you'll see across in the SEO space, or I would say in the marketing space as well. That the brands feel that SEO is some kind of a magic, that when they'll start doing SEO, some things is going to happen and then everything is will be optimized and then they will start ranking on page one from the next day itself. No, SEO does not work that way. Setting the right expectations will always help you, that okay, SEO will work in this way. It is going to take time to show recommended or to show impact, but obviously we also need the equal support from you guys as well, so that your involvement is also there and then things go faster in that way. So common pitfall, like I said, would be that the client will sign up SEO and they'll be like, okay, now I'm out of it, now don't ask for my help on that front. So you're in a bad situation if that is happening.
Great, thanks a lot. So we know that SEO is magic, but you need time to implement it. I see so many comments from our participants. So Hales writes, "Thank you, Mufaddal, for your inspiring lecture." Sado says, thanks, Mufaddal. And we also want to say thank you so much for your amazing presentation. We are very grateful that you shared your knowledge with us. And we are looking forward to seeing you soon with us on our following conferences. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Nadia. Thanks for having me. Thank you for everyone joining me for the talk today. It was really a great experience. Thank you so much again.
Yeah, guys, and please connect to Murafal. He will be very excited, right? To
Mm.
communicate with you later.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Have a nice day.